Welcome to the BBE Report. Bold thoughts, black issues, and educated opinions. A critical examination of culture and society through the eyes of a socially conscious black man. Featuring the reviews, rants, and reports by your host, Brother A. Covering the subject, topics, and issue facing black people today while expressing the love and celebration for black culture. Check the description for any more details, and please don't hesitate to subscribe, share, and hit the thumbs up button if you like what you see. Thank you for your attention, and without further ado, strap in as we take flight at the airlines of your consciousness, opening minds all the time, right here on the BBE Report. And so we're here, right here on the BBE Report. And I'm your host, Brother A. I'd like to thank you once again for joining me as I give you my unapologetic love and expression for the darker melanated people of the world. On today's episode, we'll be giving you a 3-part breakdown of what you can expect on the site. First, I'll give you an introduction to myself, who I am, certain positions and titles that I hold. Secondly, we'll get into the exact programming you can expect and the type of content that you can expect from this site and program, the BBE Report. And lastly, I'll give you a featured editorial written by myself entitled 3 Strikes, Bold, Black, and Educated, a Threat to Society. 3 Strikes, Bold, Black, and Educated, a Threat to Society. And a copy of the transcript of the feature editorial can be found at my website, which is linked down in the description. And without further ado, allow me to introduce myself. My name is A. Brother A. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is A. Brother A. Your host. Yes, I am an author, actor, activist, a college and self-educated black man. I have experience as a case manager and social counselor, a mentor and orator, as well as a physical personal trainer, photographer, videographer, producer, host, and all-around personality, a writer of all sorts, poetry, plays, scripts, commentary, and more. Finally, I serve as the president of the National United Youth Council Incorporated, based out of Elizabeth, New Jersey. Currently, I'm working in my hometown of Plainfield, New Jersey, in a grassroots effort to address gun violence and the many other issues which plagues all predominant black inner cities resembling my own beloved birthplace, P-Funk, PLFD, the Field, the Queen City. That is me, this is I, a brief introduction to your host, Brother A. Okay, now that I feel like you got to know me a little bit better, let me go into what you can expect right here on the BBE Report. There will be 3 planned separate segments and episodes, a series that you can expect. First being the traditional BBE Report, which will be numbered 1 through however many we get to, and that will include articles, news, and current events, and different topics pertaining to black people. Secondly will be BBE Weekly Report, and that would just be a longer version of the traditional BBE Report, giving more of my opinions and thoughts on those articles, news, and events that we will be addressing. And lastly, probably the episode in the program that I will be most invested in and most appreciative for you to give your love and attention to will be what we call Art of an Activist. Art of an Activist. And that will be a segment dedicated to allowing me to express my own personal features, whether that's poetry or commentary or oratory or other literary, visual, any other type of form of art that I can express, because the main objective of the BBE report is to educate, inform, and liberate black people. And through that, we will celebrate the beauty, the genius, and talent of black people. And all in all, this will be a full expression of black culture. So on that segment of mine that will produce art of an activist will be my version of my contribution to black culture. So I hope you look forward to that feature when it is made available. That won't be something I will feature weekly, but it would definitely be something that you will get 2 to 3 times a month. And when it comes out, hopefully it will be special, and you'll get your first taste of what you can expect from that feature right after this. 3 strikes. Bold, black, threat to society. By Inaugural. As a black man in America, I recognize myself as the most misunderstood, misrepresented, misidentified, and missocially disseminated so-called racial breed of human being on the face of the planet. I'm a threat not because I know it, but because I have a willingness to share the knowledge of it. The universal psychological concept of black is viewed negatively, and to openly embrace blackness is to not accept status quo or to assimilate to a colonial, Eurocentric, white supremacist societal construct. The unwillingness to submit to an oppressive system, coupled with the willingness to express black culture, is the acknowledgement of self-pride and self-worth, laying the foundation to obtain self-knowledge. A self-aware black man is one of America's greatest nightmares and a threat to white superiority wherever it exists. To not be misidentified, I'll acknowledge myself as a social, conscious observer with a critical view of people, society, circumstance, and situation perceived through the optics of logic and reality. As a college-educated black man with love and wisdom myself, I am well aware that the majority of Americans view me as a threat. I'm a threat if, as an intelligent, confident, unapologetic black man, I'm brave and authentic enough to point to the truth of my people's misery, i.e., police brutality. My own people view me as a threat if I'm not willing to assimilate to the constructs of an overly whitewashed, Eurocentric American society, and worse, if I dare to share my conscious thoughts and opinions. I'm a threat if I point out the statistical truth of my people's oppression in this country. It's as if I'm supposed to deny American history and the ramifications of slavery and post-slavery tactics against black and brown people. So often, those who claim to see the psychological residue of slavery that still stains the black community to today are the same ones who remain ignorant to the fact, simply don't acknowledge, or flatly deny the counter-psychological effect slavery has on the descendants of slave masters. The syndrome of white privilege isn't simply being born into affluence or the accepting of unearned opportunity, but a reality that pervades American culture with predetermined benefits and leniency allocated to you just for being white. Yet I'm a threat if I project this truth to the seemingly unknowing public. If I wear my culture on my sleeve, know the backstory of my history, embrace the power and greatness of my people while recognizing the centralized systemic genocide, tyranny, and oppression of Africa, Africans, and darker melanated people worldwide, then I'm called a reverse racist. To be pro-black isn't to be anti-white, and the fight against racism doesn't make you a racist yourself. Additionally, considering the atrocities against my people, a person, no matter how enchanted by their blackness, isn't claiming a race. In fact, black refers to skin color, whereas race refers to a people with a common language and national affiliation. As the descendants of slaves who were compiled together from various parts of the African continent, cattle bred in the Americas, and raped of all knowledge of self, restricting my ability to identify my common language and national affiliations of my ancestors, therefore I am unafforded the opportunity to claim a race, which would be my ancestral African tribe. When I connect my African heritage to my current American state, it is with the desire to better know myself by better knowing my native people. My innate thoughts, actions, and emotions is a direct reflection of my ancestors. I excel in the passion and confident expression of myself. Swag. I have a natural gift to move and feel rhythm. Sports, dance. My verbiage is wise and full of parables based from experience. Poetry, hip-hop. I am socially conscious and aware of my state of being while being unafraid to voice the realities of my circumstance. Activism. And I come from a great people who ushered in both humanity and civilization. History. Unfortunately, when I look at the image of me in society's eyes as portrayed by mainstream media, the depiction that I mostly see and hear is a stereotypical thug. Yet I'm criticized for telling young black boys and girls that they are offspring of kings and queens, not just slaves, mammies, and butlers. I'm discouraged from encouraging my people to be as great as their forefathers and mothers. However, the same folk who want me to tone down my blackness will be the first ones to point to the problems in the black community as if they're more abreast of the situation than I am. When I speak to my enemy about the onslaught against my people, he wants to deflect blame while pointing his finger at me for the exact offense that's the result of his onslaught, i.e. the prison system. 6 officers in Baltimore are on trial for the illegal arrest, assault, and negligence amongst other charges, which led to the death of a young black man, Freddie Gray. Out of anger, other young men and women showed their displeasure with so-called rioting. As a result, those young people were considered criminals and thugs for looting, while the policeman who committed murder received no such label. The National Guard was sent in as protection to the downtown white-owned businesses, a CVS included, while black people have been crying for the National Guard's presence for the gun violence in Chicago for years. We're still waiting. American Senate members had to perform a sit-in, hashtag no bill, no break, just so particular parties in the government will listen to the issues on gun violence. Yet, I am fed the negative statistics of predominantly black neighborhoods as if those same statistics aren't the same in all poverty-stricken environments. Am I not supposed to be aware of the fact that after slaves were freed from their captivity, they were never paid for their lives of free labor? Should I not know of the many existing corporations and Fortune 500 companies that were established in the slave trade that have become inherited businesses who market products to my people without any unpaid debts that were incurred as they find their origins in slavery? So of course I'm a threat if I act as a proponent for reparations. Ultimately, I wish to positively influence the culture, environment, condition, and mind state of my people. The promotion of the beauty and greatness and blackness is the extension of my undying love for black folk. So I'll continue to do all I can to encourage, support, teach, and assist in any way for the preservation, liberation, celebration, and progress of my people. As an educated man in America, I know the primary reason I'm a threat is because I'm bold enough to be unapologetically black. Peace and power, family. Thank you again for joining me here on this inaugural edition of the BBE Report, which included the first entry in our Art of an Activist series with the feature 3 Stripes, Bold, Black, and Educated, A Threat to Society. I truly hope you enjoyed your experience and will be on the lookout for more exclusive content. With that, I bid you adieu. Until the next episode. I'm your host, Brother A, opening minds all the time, right here on the BBE Report.